recording. All right, this is the last little bit of sheeting that has to be cut on this shed. It's the roof sheeting. Basically, it takes 4 sheets to complete this shed. We have 4 sheets here. We're not going to use all 4 sheets because I have some extras that were left over from the last shed that I want to burn up and just get rid of. So basically, those extras are covering one of those sheets over there out the way, and one of them sheets is going to stay 8-footer by 4-foot, a 4x8 sheet. We'll leave this one as a 4x8 sheet, so we got 2 4x8 sheets we're not even touching. One of these full sheets, we're going to cross cut it 48 inches. Same thing we did with the floor. Nothing different. Just a different sheet, that's all. But it's the same thing we did with the floor. Cross cutting one of the sheets 48 inches in half. Got 48 marks there. Rips for the tops of the sheets. It's 4x8. 4x8 shed. If I slid both these sheets together, that's the width of the shed. Now we gotta allow for a little bit of roof rise. It's ultimately 3 3/4, 3 7/8 inches. So basically, if this were a whole sheet, I'll pull 3 7/8 on one edge because I want a good factory edge on it. I'm not really going to have it on all these, but oh well. But I'd aim for one of them with paint on the edge, and the other one I'd do the same thing. That way my longest pieces, the 8-footers, will be the straightest. 3 7/8. 3 7/8 on this. 3 7/8 off the factory edge on this. If this were a whole sheet, after I cut those two, I would have to cut one more 3 7/8. I would cut those two first because it just make it add up better. But if I weren't cutting those two, I wouldn't be able to measure this out right now. I can measure this out right now. Basically, what we're ending up is 3 of these, 3 7/8. The one that doesn't have anything left is the one we're going to cut in half. And the way we do that is just like that sheet right there. We would measure 48 inches after we'd rip this rip cup right here, and we'd simply cut it across right there. Square it up, cut it off, cut it across. But I'm doing it with this sheet because I have a 48 inch rip right here. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. 3 7/8. Come over here. We're going to cut these, we're going to rip them down to 12 inches. They're going to be gussets for the rafters. There's 2 ways to mark these. First way to mark this, 12 inches. Over here, stay 90 degrees right here. Don't go crazy. Don't go crazy like that either. 12 inches somewhere over in here. Pretty split. Easiest way is to flip it up piece over and just mark it. And the really easy way is to cut that and just keep marking all of them with that. But I don't want to keep marking them like that. It's easier for me to just mark like this. Hold 12 inches there, hold the pencil on the side, get 12 inches lined up, and do like that. And that's the way I'm doing it. Anticipate what's happening next, okay? Yep. Yeah, you're getting warmer. We'll go ahead and have to cut that out already. Okay.
Those look so much worse than the first one. Just saying.
it's nothing but a gusset. We don't really care too much. And, okay. We're on to the printing. All those are pretty self-explanatory how they get cut. Stand on the piece we're trying to keep and cut.
Okay.
So with a right-handed person and a normal saw, we'll stand on our piece and cut and our blade again will be on the right hand, outside of that line. Keeping this piece our size, cutting the waste out of that. Alright, steering wall studs. That would be the sidewall studs. They are 5 foot 8 inches. Right? But I don't have to measure. 5 foot 8 inches. What does it take? 7 2x4x12s for the sidewalls. 7 2x4x10s for the rafters. A total of 6 96-inch 2x4s. Although for all those 90 regular studs of 92 5/8 does work. For the record, Home Depot, I think Lowe's does it as well. They call 96-inch 2x4s and 92 5/8 2x4s studs. A 96-inch is not a stud. A 92 5/8 is a stud. It's designed for a bottom plate, 2 top plates, and hang sheetrock inside. That's what it's designed for. It's designed to work out the sheetrock. It is a stud. Right, an 8 foot or a 96-inch 2x4 is not a stud. But that's just for the record. 5 foot 8 inches. I'm just going to draw a little mark. I'll square them. 5 foot 8. 5 foot 8. That'd be 68 inches. $68. 68. 68. 68. 68. And 68. Turn our tape around. We'll pull off the factory edge right there. We're going to pull off this factory edge. We're going to keep one of our factory edges. We're not going to have a 2x4 that has both of our cuts on it with a surplus on it. That won't be as consistent. Their factory edges will going to be more consistent than our cut. 5 foot 8. 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 They're all marked. We'll square those up and we'll cut those in a minute. We're going to come over here and mark these. Rafters are pretty easy to get the first mark on them. We're just going to measure 5 foot roughly. Basically, all we're doing is cutting them in half with an accurate angle for our roof line. And then we'll have long points of the roof line on the rafters to pull off of. So pretty much 5 foot, mark right in the center. It doesn't have to be perfect. We're aiming for 5 foot a mark. And just to make this easier, half foot of width of a 3.5 inch wide 2x4 is 1 3/4 inches. And we'll do another mark at 1 3/4. 1 3/4. 1 3/4. 1 3/4. 1 3/4. And 1 3/4.
Pause.